This is a fan-generated show. If you would like to support us, please go to jamieglazov.com, and also don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. All your support is greatly appreciated.
Good evening. Welcome to the Glazov Moment. Tonight, John Bolton praises my new book, Jihadist Psychopath. Ladies and gentlemen, as many of you probably know by now, I have a new book that's coming out, Jihadist Psychopath, how he is charming, seducing, and devouring us. And ladies and gentlemen, I am so excited and so grateful that many titans and leading experts around the world have come forward to give my book glowing praise. And so, John Bolton, Trump's national security advisor, has given my book glowing praise, as well as many other titans and leading world figures from around the world, many experts and scholars. And I'm very, very excited about this. I'm honored and very grateful. Now, before I tell you about John Bolton's praise of my new work, let me just tell you very quickly about Jihadist Psychopath. My friends, for many years, as many of you know, I've devoted my study and research and life into trying to figure out the unholy alliance, how the left allies itself with our ideological enemies, with totalitarian systems, with terrorist ideologies, and the left is always enabling our totalitarian enemies. It did this during the Cold War. Now in the terror war, the left is allied with Jihad, with Sharia. And I've documented this in my book, United in Hate. Now I've taken a step further, because as I've been watching what Jihad and Sharia are doing to us, as you look at the West's surrender, look at what's happening in Europe, the surrender in Europe, everything that's happening here in the United States, and we see Islamic blasphemy laws being implemented now. I mean, even recently, a Christian pastor was arrested at a mall in Minnesota for simply talking about Islam because a certain Muslim had complained to security and they ended up arresting him. What's happening to our freedoms? And so that's another issue. This is all very evident now. You know, we're always talking about this on the Glazov Gang. People like Robert Spencer are documenting this every day, shining a disturbing light on how Jihad and Sharia are conquering the West. You just go to Robert Spencer's Jihad Watch, go to Front Page Magazine, many websites and journals telling the truth. But as I've been studying this and as I've been trying to be active in my own way, I've also always been very, very attuned to and studying the world of psychology. And the more I studied psychopaths all of these years, something began to emerge for me. The more I studied how psychopaths charm and seduce, ensnare and devour their victims, I began to see that it's exactly what Islamic supremacists are doing to the West today. And I'm talking about step by step, every single ingredient, every single step that psychopaths use to seduce and then grab and then devour, step by step, exactly what Jihad is doing to the West today. And I demonstrate this in my book. I'm not going to give any spoilers here, but just off the top of my head, to play the victim. When you punch somebody in the face, when a psychopath punches somebody in the face, and we know many of these people, and then all of a sudden you're the one that's supposed to apologize. They're the ones that are abusing you, but you're supposed to be feeling sorry for them. They never apologize. They never take accountability. I'm not going to go on here because I don't want to give spoilers, but I have demonstrated that this is happening every step in terms of what psychopaths do to their victims, in terms of what Jihad is doing to the West. I also show that the same way in which the victims of psychopaths need to be deceived and are complicit in their own deception and in their own surrender is exactly how the West today is willfully blind and voluntarily surrendering as well in this whole game of deception that Jihad is perpetrating against the West. Jihadist Psychopath, ladies and gentlemen, and how honored I am that John Bolton, Trump's national security advisor, has given me advance praise, and he has written that my book, The Jihadist Psychopath, is, quote, the century's counterpart to Burnham's classic work. Now, he's written more than that. That's just a clip of his blurb for my book. But what do you know? Much more praise has come in. Steve Emerson finds The Jihadist Psychopath brilliant and deeply original. Geert Wilders says that my book is, or deserves the highest praise. Leading expert on Islam, scholar of Islam, Robert Spencer calls Jihadist Psychopath groundbreaking. Thomas McInerney affirms that Jihadist Psychopath is an indispensable masterpiece. And how honored I am that Dennis Prager has come forward and praised Jihadist Psychopath, calling it one of the most important books of the present time. Ladies and gentlemen, what an honor for me to have all this glowing praise of Jihadist Psychopath. I can say that, I think it's fair to say that I've contributed something groundbreaking here, something very original. Leading American scholar Michael Ledeen has written the foreword for my book. And there's a lot more of advanced praise. Look, I'm sorry if I sound like Don King here trying to, engaging in all this self-promotion for a fight coming up. But sometimes you got to promote something that you think is also very important, not necessarily just because it's your own. I think I've contributed something here because if we get the knowledge, acquire the knowledge of how our totalitarian, terrorist enemies are devouring us, well, we can use that knowledge to liberate ourselves and to protect and defend our civilization. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to find out what other people are also saying about Jihadist Psychopath, go to the Amazon page of Jihadist Psychopath. Just put in Jamie Glazov, Jihadist Psychopath, and you'll go to that Amazon page and you'll be able to read all the information about my new book and to read the other blurbs. And most importantly, you'll be able to pre-order a copy because it's coming out soon. And once again, I'll just end with this. If we begin to understand what I've shown in this book, that the Jihadist Psychopath is using, as psychopaths do, a certain formula to keep us on his plantation. We're on the Jihadist Psychopath's plantation. If you acquire the knowledge of what this plantation is and how the Jihadist Psychopath does this to us, then we will all be armed in greater numbers with the knowledge and be able to equip ourselves to escape that plantation and to save our civilization from this very pernicious and evil enemy that we face. Pre-order Jihadist Psychopath on Amazon today. We'll see you soon on The Glazov Moment. Good night.